Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the one thing that is just weird, just straight up weird, from a cc&d magazine, which runs issue collection books like this one, January to April 2022, that is titled Unfinished Business, is that the byline for cc&d, Children, Churches, and Daddies, is that it's the unreligious, non-family-oriented literary and art magazine. Because back in the day, in snail mail days, hi, I would get letters that would say, hi, I'm a Christian mother of four, and here are my rhyming poems. So we needed to outline what this mag was all about. So the weird thing about this is that I have got a block of poems that I was working on, haha, I found them, from working on things from Genesis, from the Old Testament. And there are replica poems for them, and there's a chunk of them in here, so I can't believe I'm going to do this. But it's things I probably wouldn't read anywhere else. And they might be appearing in a 2023 Cyberwit.net book, Testament. We'll see how that turns out in the future. But in the meantime, they're in unfinished business. Yay, cc&d. And this is a block of poems, and leading, I think, to the last Genesis poems that this author will ever read from cc&d, trust me. This first one is titled Genesis 37. I knew a man, one of many brothers, but this one man, after his father gave him the most ornate and most beautiful coat, a coat he really loved, he couldn't see that his brothers were jealous of the special treatment this one brother received over the others. Looking at how his brothers behaved, I could see it. But he swore to me that he didn't know why his brothers resented him. I wonder if he was too lost in his own euphoria to not see what was happening to his family. When I heard from them that he had a dream the other night, and he told his brothers that his dream, they were all in a field binding stalks of grain, but in his dream, one of his sheaths actually stood upright, and then the other sheaths made by the other brothers started actually moving toward his one upright sheath and started to bow. These bound sheaths of grain acting sentient and bowing to his grain. It sounds ludicrous, no? But when his brothers heard of his dream, they responded with, "Does this mean we have to bow to you? Does this mean you are supposed to reign over us?" And relying on this one brother's dream alone, their jealousy turned to hatred, because all dreams are meant to be taken seriously like this, versus believing dreams may potentially be the night ramblings of one intoxicated by power. This scary thing is that this one brother had another dream later, and yes, he decided to again share it with his brothers, even though he had to see that they didn't like his dreams. He told them that in his new dream, the sun and the moon and 11 stars were also bowing to him. His brothers were disgusted, and even his father couldn't believe his dreams this one son had. Should his father and mother and everything in the universe all bow to him like he was a god? I saw how they reacted to this one brother, this one who got high and mighty after being gifted one ornately beautiful coat and then telling his family his insane dreams. I don't know if he believed these dreams would turn out to be true, but I could see the gears turning in his father's head. I know how ludicrous it was that his father played favorites and loved this one son more than the others, but after that, his father made a point to keep his son's rantings in the back of his mind so that he could be ready for whatever his son might do. But more importantly, I could see the hatred in his brothers. Their jealousy was unbridled, and I think they would all plot revenge over the self-appointed golden boy. I wondered what those brothers had up their sleeve, because I don't care if you think your dreams mean that you're meant to be a god. That doesn't matter. You don't cross your family. This is true. You don't cross your family. That was the end of Genesis 37. And we're going to skip ahead a few, because I said I got a few Genesis ones for you in this reading. Brace yourselves. This next one is titled Genesis 40 and 41. You may say I'm a dreamer, but my dreams were given to me. They were signs to me that I was meant for a much better life than this. My family did not believe me. I think they wanted to kill me. But they sold me to slaves who left me in prison for years. When others in the kingdom were imprisoned, where I was left bound, I would hear them talk about their dreams. This is when it came to me. I'd let them know that I could interpret their dreams for them. So each of them would share their dreams with me, and oh, the stories I would tell them, and oh, the web I would weave. They all loved my interpretations. They saw that they were good. So I asked them, when you leave here, please put in a good word for me. Help me out of this place. And, of course, they got out. And, of course, they forgot me. Never mentioned a word of me or even my good interpretations. So I waited, and lo and behold, I waited 2 years until I heard that the Pharaoh himself dreamed over and over again. And he was lost, not knowing what these dreams meant. That all related to seven things devouring him, seven things being devoured, 7 people, 7 everything. So the Pharaoh went to his baker, the man who was once in prison telling his dreams to me, and the Pharaoh went on to him about his dreams. It was then that the man remembered me, that the servant who was trapped, but who interpreted his dreams. And this is why the Pharaoh came to me. He told me his dreams that all related to eating and 7, and I interpreted them into what will happen in his 7 years of power, and what will happen, both good and the bad, and how to prepare for everything. And the Pharaoh was so pleased with me that he said that I should rule over all of Egypt. He draped me in the fine linens and gave me his ring. I ruled with the Pharaoh for those 7 years and more. We saved the land from famine as my wife bore me wonderful children. You may say I'm a dreamer, but the difference is that I know just what to do with those dreams. And that's what makes the difference. We're going to continue on with this theme. I can't believe I'm doing this. I changed it from listening in on the story to being that guy. And I'm going to continue on with another one. This is Genesis 42 and 43. Brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for your religion notes, your Old Testament notes from cc&d. I can't believe it. And I should even close, all right, I'll close the page, from the January to April 2022 issue collection book titled Unfinished Business. This next one, yay, is titled Genesis 42 and 43. In my youth, I learned about divine divinity. I wanted to share this gift with my family, and they hated me for my divine dreams. For this, they wanted to kill me and sent me away as a slave. And I slaved for years to be free. I used my ability and my knowledge. As a result, I was beloved and I gained real power. I became the head of the state and of the people. And while leading, I taught others to prosper. When famine struck nearby lands, others wanted to rush to us for help and support. This included my brothers, who had led my father to believe that I had died decades ago. Maybe I will talk to 1 or 2 men of value to me, though in divinity I will not succumb to that eye for an eye mentality, though at this time I wouldn't mind a little torment time if they caused torment to me for 20 years. And they tried to destroy my heart, so there is nothing in my heart for them. It is hard to believe that I was born alongside brothers who commit such espionage and thievery, and then they took my only 2 men I wanted to even talk to away. They tried to make things right. They returned 1 good man to me after I invited them to have food with me, and they all returned the stolen money that they claimed they didn't steal. I'd even let those brothers believe that we do not think they are spies, if this is the encouragement they need to return the last good men to me. And so they did. Although, through all of this debate to save 2 men, I never spoke to them. I guided my steward and paid help to discuss all of these things so that I would not even have to talk to these 11 wretched men from my own family. I have heard the great number 11 is meant to resonate at an extremely high vibration, and I don't know if this is what I feel from what these men did to me, or now that these 11 could do. So, after these 2 men were returned, I welcomed the 11 to my home, and on the surface, they were afforded every luxury that good men deserve, to allay the well-founded fears they might have. And they came later to visit me again at my work location. And so I stood on marble ground. They now bow to me in their disheveled forms, offering a gift from their father. I acted like I didn't recognize them, and I only feel pain from my father being with them and not me. Good thing they didn't recognize me, because my real connection is to the good men these evil brothers returned to me. So, at this meal, I will offer them food, unlike their earlier rejection of me when they placed me in the pit to starve before they made me a slave. I will feed them, but make a point to feed the 1 welcomed returned man 5 times more food than the rest. Then I will see if they will hate him as they once hated me for receiving more. I wondered if they would notice, but why would they? I gave them all enough liquor for them to not think about it or worry about what my next step may be. I feel like saying dun 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 at the end of that one, because I do have 1 or 2 more, I believe. 2, and they're shorter. Then this will be the ending of the Genesis stories, at least from me. Can you believe it? This one is titled Genesis 45. After you men stripped me of my life, I worked, I clawed my way to make it back until I actually ruled new land. So now, all you come crawling back. I saw your weakened and disheveled forms and decided that after all this time, I'll reveal my true self to you again. You hated me before, but now you need me. After these years, all I've needed was the 1 man that I truly believed in me. And you not only tore me away from him, but you also led him to believe that I was dead. So, okay, I'll reveal myself to you. I will give you what you need if you bring to me the one thing I have needed. Do this for me. You denied me of all that's good before. So now we should both give, and we will all feel truly free. I am going to end with 1 more from the Genesis series. It's a haiku. I believe it's a haiku. And it's Genesis 49. Ready? Genesis 49. After all this time, you finally found me. Now, I can die in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was your, I cannot believe it, from the Unreligious Mag religious installment of poetry that appears in the cc&d January to April 2022 issue collection book titled Unfinished Business, that is put together and shared with you in honor of the once Poetry Open Mic, the first Wednesday of every month from 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, at the time at Half Price Books on North Lamar, and it is not going on since the epidemic, and so in honor of that I'm doing these readings for you guys. Thank you all for listening. I might do, who knows, maybe another reading from this book in this time in honor of the, yes, we've got time for it until 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope you're not feeling as blue as my chair and shirt and lips. What? So I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you're enjoying being out of quarantine and we can finally get back together again very, very soon. And I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you very, very soon. Thank you so very much. Thanks.